What's up, YouTube fam? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Brenda, and if you're seeing me for the first time, it means you're new to this channel. Please don't be afraid of clicking that red button below there. So please give me those thumbs ups at the end of this video. Yeah. And so guys, today we are on our road to 500 subscribers. So guys, please support me, subscribe to my channel. And what we're going to do today, I had promised to do a video on my pregnancy journey, and that's what I'm gonna do today. So guys, as I had told you in the previous video, if you've not watched it, don't worry, I'll leave the link on the description of this video so that you can watch it if you want. I had promised to do a video on my pregnancy journey, and that's what I'm going to do today. So guys, mine wasn't really an easy ride. It was a tough journey because when you're pregnant, like, you go through a lot. There's emotional meltdowns, morning sickness, especially the first few weeks, and especially so if it's your first pregnancy. So that was my case, because I really felt I didn't have anybody to talk to. So because I couldn't go to any of my family members, because I had not told any of them that I was pregnant, but I did tell them much later when I was around 5 months. And also I couldn't talk about my emotions with my friends, because I had already told them kuna harusi inakuja, they prepare their vitenge. So I couldn't go back to them niende kuambia, you know what guys, hakuna harusi, I'm pregnant. So it was tough. So in the first weeks, like that same weekend I found out I was pregnant, I started bleeding. So I was very scared because I didn't know what was going on. So I went back to the living room. I told this guy, you know what, I'm bleeding. He didn't say anything. Actually, from that moment on, he didn't speak to me. So I was concerned. I wanted to know why he was not speaking to me after I told him that, because I expected he'll say, hey, you know what, let's go to the hospital, but he didn't. So the following day he told me that I was very concerned about the unborn child more than I was concerned about him. So in my mind, I started asking myself, I was bleeding, was I just supposed to keep quiet about it, or talk about it to him? So he was angry, so I went to the hospital the next day alone, and that's how I started my clinics. Actually, I did all the clinics alone. So that was the first week of knowing I was pregnant. And then along the way, the morning sickness came in. So I was vomiting, as in this guy. Actually, there's no day he ever came to ask me what's happening. So there's this day he was just on his phone. So, and he was where I was in the living room, and he was there. So after eating nikaanza kutapika. So because he was there, nilikuwa na expect akuja niambia, how are you feeling, is everything okay? He didn't say anything. Nikamuuliza, kai, kwani uniambii pole? You know what, do you know, guess what he said? Kaniambia, you know what, it's all in the mind, just control your mind, you will not vomit. Like guys, sio nikakwambia mtu wa malaria like don't vomit because it's all in the mind. Like, this is something that is just a reflex action that happens on itself. He didn't say sorry. So nikasema ni sawa, maybe that's how he thinks. Yeah, nikasema ni sawa. So after that, when I went to the clinic, nikaambiwa like the things of like being a first time mother, I think they have to cancel you and guide you on what you're supposed to do. So one of the things they had told me is that they had asked me to start like buying to nguo and look for the hospital where I'll go for delivery. So I came home. Because he was not talking to me, I told him about it like around 3 days later. Kawambia, they have been asked to look for a hospital, and if possible start buying to clothes. So he told me that time, actually he was in a good mood. So kaniambia, we'll go hunt for a hospital together. So ikapita 2 months later hatujaenda. So I reminded him that, you know what, we were supposed to look for a hospital. So there was this hospital that was nearby. Akaniambia we'll go check it out. Siku ya kwanza ikapita, ya tatu ikapita, but I couldn't do anything because alikuwa amesema I'm more concerned about the baby. So I wanted this time to make sure that we go together. So siku ya kwanza ikapita, ya pili, ya tatu ikamwambia, by the way, you said we will go look for a hospital together. Sema yeye nimekumbuka. 2 weeks zilipita, jamaa bado tu anapeana excuses. Kasema hapa hivi sitamngoja, let me go check that hospital out. So I went alone. Nikarudi, I told him I went to see the hospital. Akakasirika. Akaniambia, you see, you're not involved in me. Mark you guys, I told this guy like 2 weeks had passed. Hajaonyesha interest ya kutaka kuenda na time inasonga. By that time we didn't really have so much money. So there's this chama I used to belong to, but I had to quit because of domestic issues. So they refunded me my contributions. So with that money I wanted us to buy some clothes. So this guy hiyo siku akatoka kwa hao, the day we had planned to go buy clothes, akatoka. So I texted him, nikamwambia this is the list of the things we're supposed to buy because we are not here, can I go buy them? Akasema yes. Mimi nikaenda nikanunua. Johnny akarudi, why didn't you tell me about it? And then it occurred to me at some point I started thinking, if this guy is behaving this way, like, is it possible that he doesn't really want to be part of this journey? So nikajita mkutano, then I told myself, you know what, you just have to have your own fallback plan. So I decided to just jipanga myself, like whenever I got money I'll save it, because I knew I was supposed to, from the look of things, I was the one who was going to do everything. I was supposed to plan on my own maternity. I'll be able to settle the bill, because by then I had an NHIF cover and also a medical insurance cover. But that medical insurance cover, I wasn't really sure, there was a point that it was supposed to lapse, and by then singekuwa nimefikia siku zangu. So I started to plan how to buy the clothes, delivery costs, maternity leave, how I will survive during the maternity leave. I went home, nikakaka, then my friend, the one I used to stay with, akanicall akaniambia, hey, guess what? Guess who came looking for me? Jina yake inaanza na hii. I was like, sasa mimi naanza ku guess the mutual friends that we have, our classmates, kind of people. Kaniambia, no, not along that line. Kasema, I can't think of anyone. Kaniambia, this guy came looking for you, now the father to my kid came looking for me. Akasema he's trying to call you but hakupati. So they talked. So me, I was like, hey, he went to look for my friend juu ananitafuta. Akasema maybe amepata akili zake zimerudi. You people, I don't know if I should say coincidentally, because the next day is the day I went to labor, and that was a terrible day. Because your day, sasa, you remember I told you I wasn't very sure about my medical cover. So that day my cover was had been terminated that same day. So I had to look for an alternative. Fortunately I had paid my NHIF, so nikapeana. So, and before that, actually I was not prepared. I knew I was due in 2 weeks. So your day I'd only gone for clinic, wanasema clinic, maternity checkup. But mimi nikafika huko akaniambia, you know what, you're not going anywhere, we have to admit you. So by the time I was nilikuwa namaliza all that, the hustle of looking, as in making sure everything is in order, it was already in the evening, and I was going, as in the pains were becoming intense. So after finishing the entire process, I decided to text the father of my kid to tell him that the kid was here, but he never responded. When they were about to discharge me, they asked for the ID number of the father. So I texted the father again. I asked him, will you send your ID number? You know, by the guys, my kid was born on April Fool's Day. So I don't, like, up to now I don't know if he thought that I was kidding or if I was pranking him. I've never understood up to today. So he told me he won't send. Fortunately, as in, my dad stepped in akanipea ID number yake, so that's what I used nikakuwa discharged. Yeah, so I was discharged. Nikangoja jamaa anitext aniambie congratulations. Ikapita, like first week went by, he didn't do that. After around 5 weeks, this guy texts me ananiambia like he has moved on, we are breaking up. Like, this guy, all that time mtoto amekuja, imepita wiki 5, he has not said anything. So the only time ananitext ananiambia he has found another lady. At the moment, it makes sense, because you remember I had told you that by the time I was 7 months, he had gotten another lady pregnant. So I think that was the lady, as in they were moving in together, as in they were just informing me, but they had already started their thing already. So ananiambia they are moving on. You guys, I almost lost my mind. Like, here I was na deal na struggle moja, then this one, as in huyu ananiongezea ingine. Like, this guy hata he is not concerned kujua mtoto anaitwa aje, anafanana aje, want to know how I was able to settle the bill. Yeah, it's okay. If that's what you've decided to do, it's okay. I didn't really struggle much, because I had had my fair share of misery. Like, hadi unafikiria, unashanga, like, is this really the same person that I met some times back? Like, up to now, like, for me right now, what I can tell anyone, like, don't just look at the package. You see, the packaging of any item is meant to attract customers. Like, this guy ni somebody that ukimwangalia and the way he presents himself before people, like, you will expect him to behave this way. Instead, he's the totally opposite of your expectation. So guys, the reason why I'm telling you this is because for me this has been therapeutic for me, because right now I'm feeling much better because I've been able to speak it out, and I hope that somebody else gets inspired. Like, don't just suffer in silence, because me, I'm the kind of person that I don't really tell people my problems, and if you kinikosea, I'll just tell you once, na ukarudia kufanya hivyo, I'll just leave you do your thing, because I expect if I tell you, you'll know this is how this person, as in this is how Brenda feels about this thing. So if I do this will hurt her or this will please her. Guys, walking away from something that is hurting isn't a sign of weakness. Sometimes that's the only thing that you need, like, to just make a decision to take charge of your life. And if you're moving in with somebody, you are a candidate for breakup or for mistreat, or as in you are a candidate for any kind of thing, just make sure that when you get into it, you have a fallback plan. Like, you know, if this happens, this is what I'll be able to do. And guys, if you parents have your issues, don't punish the kids for the mistakes of the parent. The kid was not there when you are hurting each other. Why would you want to punish the kids because of the mistakes of the parent? Yeah, if you are not able to solve your issues, let it remain between the two of you. Yeah, let it remain between the two of you. So there are some people who had asked me to do a video on my healing process. I'll try make one for you guys when I feel better. I'll definitely get one for you. So guys, that was it for today.